Hello everyone, so today I am presenting to you automated GDPR compliance for video redaction, specifically for data privacy regulation to find any entity across the whole of the video, or getting to know that which component or which asset needs to be redacted across the video as per the GDPR compliance, and to look forward to solving all of the problems which are there in the reality, specifically around this area. And specifically when we discuss about this is people or reviewer going through the manual review of the videos, and just think of like having a very large volume of footages of videos and going through the manual review of the whole videos would cost a lot, and also at the same times would cost a lot of time. And also, like, it's very difficult to do a manual blurring. It's particularly very inconsistent in that way, and making the distribution to get the most production level redaction to be ready is very difficult and very timely process. So we're gonna see how TwelveLabs provides the video intelligence layer into this, so that the whole process of GDPR compliance becomes very easy to get to know about the insights which has been hidden across the video directly in few seconds. So here is the whole architecture of how the app looks like, and all the underlying component of how it works, and what are the various models which has been used. So we will be going to discuss about this in a very deep manner, and we'll see each and every component of this. So let's go to the demo, and we'll also see comparatively to the architecture of how it's working. So let's go through the dashboard. So yeah, I am at the dashboard now. These are the videos which are been already indexed. I can just do the indexing by uploading any of the video by clicking here. So let's first see now the entity. Here you can just upload any of the image. It identifies the face and register your entity so that you can use that entity further down anytime. So here are few of the entities which I have already registered. So let's have a look at the person one, or I can just have the tag around it as a courtroom maybe, or it's fine if I just don't write anything. And here it found, so like here you can see the rank 1 is in this video, means this entity is present in this video, and these are the whole of the segments across the video where this entity appears. So if we just go to this one, and here we can see there is a courtroom scenario, and the entity is there, and you can notice here there is a face, but it still was able to identify that entity is being present here. Now we can just go back and have a look at the text query. If I just wanted to give the text query and see maybe a judge announcing verdict or ruling, so you can see that most of the videos have it in that manner, and we get the rank here, and particularly we can go to that area too quickly. So now let's have a look at more deeply as what are the meta insights. So here, if we see the meta insights here, we get to know that there is a document here. It shows that there is a court document which has been visible, which could just provide us the sensitive data here, like name or like that. So it's very problematic, and it needs to be redacted. So we just got to know directly about which segment we should take care of. Or the other thing is the main verdict subject here, whose proceedings is happening, so that needs to be redacted. So these are the areas. Or if I just go to the object and see only the objects which needs to be redacted, so it says that the shackles needs to be redacted here. So we get to know about it by just having look at the meta insights, but we can do a lot here. So let's just do one more time the entity search, and we'll just do the search here, and here we get the rank 1. Here we get the whole of the timeline. This timeline, when we have a look, then this is the person to that entity, and this red bar actually showcases what are the segments and what are the areas in the video where that person appears more. So here you can see the person is appearing very clearly in the whole of the video, and we get to know very easily about that. And these are the meta insights that we had looked onto. Now the main task here comes to is doing the redaction of it. And for that we can just go to the live blur. And this all detection part, how does it work? We'll have a look at it. But through the pipeline of from understanding from the meta insights itself, it identified which person needs to be redacted, as we have seen here. So there is an anon only, and we get to see, okay, this is the same face, and we can just click the blur here. And as soon as I click the blur, you can see the blur got appeared, but this is the overlay part. The better performance, the better result will be there in the exported part where the re-encoding happens. So this is just for the preview part of where the blur is getting appeared to, but on re-encoding the video, we get the most improved result. So here it already calculated the face lock, as it takes the time to get the face lock to be done, to be computed from the whole of the video. So we have already done that, so it's quickly, and we can just directly export it now. So it takes few minutes to get the face blur export to be done, and by the time it's happening, we can just have a look at the whole process of how does it look like, and about all the process that we have seen till now. So what we have seen till now is the user uploads the video for indexing, the video goes to the indexing, goes to the TwelveLabs index, which have the model of Marengo and Pegasus. The user does the search by an entity, by a text, or can do by an image also. It goes to the TwelveLabs Marengo 3.0 and we get the whole of the search. Then we have seen about the meta insights. Meta insights is we get the metadata segments and also the information related to it, and this is happening with the TwelveLabs Pegasus 1.5 here. And then we saw about the blur and how does the blur happen, how we got this list. So there, as soon as the video is sent for the indexing, there is a detect pipeline which first ran the TwelveLabs Pegasus 1.5. We get to know about the people, object, and scene context, about the keyframes, what are the particular timestamp frame which we need to take consider on, and then the keyframes are being extracted, and from there the face are being extracted. So it might happen that multiple frames might contain the same person, or the same face got extracted as just the cropped preview of that face. So here we are using inside face, which creates the face embedding, and we do the clustering so that we get only the unique face list here. So as soon as we get the whole of the face list, we have the button as blur. If we click any of the entity or any of the person here as blur, then it goes to the entity select search first. So we get the search timeline if we have not searched before, and then the face lock has been built on that. So for the face lock, there are like a lot many optical flow and velocity prediction, and YOLO V8 face has been used here, and the face lock has been stored here. And after, when we export it, as we are doing now, we get the apply blur to redacted region, and the re-encode of the video happens. So this is the whole flow of how does it look like. And now we can have a look at the exported video. So this is the exported video at this moment which I am running, and you can have a look at like how well the blur has been applied to the face. So as we observe here that we get to know about the entity is been there in the whole of the video with the help of TwelveLabs timeline, and also it applies the blur very accurately to that face, so that we don't need to even worry about anything about faces being revealed or is there any inconsistency around it. Now the next feature that we're going to look at is that there might be a condition where we need that only the one person or few people needs to be in the focus, and not the whole of the people in the as a participant in the courtroom. So there is a reverse redaction which converts the button from blur to focus. And also just to have a look at is this face list gets updated each time. So this gets updated on which is on screen at this moment. So you can see on screen these are the faces, and others are not there, and at which time they would gonna appear. As now at this moment on screen there is only the one face which needs to be redacted, so that's why it's showing that. And I can just apply the focus. As soon as I applied the focus, you can't see the overlay here, you need to export it to get the result around it. And here for that, like I can have the exported video already, which we can have a look at. So here you can see this is the video where all of the faces are being redacted, but not the face which we clicked on as a focus. So, and this is for the whole of the video. And at the last, one more feature where we get to know about the overview of the video, so that as we haven't went through the whole of the video, right, and we don't know what's the context going on behind, and here we get to know that proceedings is as per the case around it, and what are the topics and all. And if I just say as brief as short summary in 5 points about the case, I could have just also used the suggestions of which face should be anonymized, just to have like one more layer of understanding of okay, or maybe just when does the primary suspect appear, but we also got all this result from the meta insights itself. And now if we just go through the response that we got very quickly, as what are the charges in the case, what are the details, what are the legal challenges, here we get to see. And here we get all of the information about explaining stuff from here, and even the language which has been used here is in German, and we get all of the response in English. So it also says like whether the act is under like the German criminal law. So there are like a lot many stuff. Yeah, so that's all about the application. We can just go to the code and have a look at how it works around it. And here you can see the 12 services 1.2. So let's go to the code repo now. In code repo, you can find all the details here about the application, about what are the various features that we saw. So here are like the models which if you see, there is net10 has been used to identify the particular face and get the crop of the preview of that face. YOLO 8 face has been used for identifying and with the motion tracking, specifically for the blur redaction purpose. We're gonna have a look at the services, which is the main file here, and in that 12Lab services. In 12Lab services, so here we'll focus on the list indexed video, which is the first thing. When we saw the dashboard, we saw that all of the videos which are already been indexed, we saw the video, there is a particular video ID which has been associated to that, the thumbnail specifically to related to that, the video URL and all. So this is the first API endpoint which gets us the list of all of the videos from there, all of the indexed videos from the index of the two. When we saw about the entity, we also saw that we can register a new entity, right? And for registering the new entity, this is the endpoint. Here we see the entity collection, the collection ID, entities, and it just have the image, the name, the description, the metadata which can be added, and this gets stored into the entity registration to this location in 12Labs itself. And you can just list the entities from the items from the 12Labs itself. Now we're gonna see about the metadata insights. So as we saw in the metadata insights, that we get to know about the three things. First, which are the documents which are revealing the sensitive data which needs to be redacted, or which are the objects, which are the person which needs to be redacted, or which needs to be taken a closer look on. So here we can see these are all the excluded persons, so that it just don't get into like also, because as per the GDPR compliance or the privacy, it could happen that officials also needs to be redacted. So excluding that and only focusing on the subject verdict here, and particularly providing the all of the context about what needs to be focused on in the courtroom footages. And here this is the response format for the Pegasus, so that we get the time-based metadata response in a very structured manner of okay, what the person or face or screen or document or text or logo, anything which seems to be like not following the GDPR compliances, or the description around it, the reasoning behind it, about the redaction target, what target does it says, whether it's the main verdict subject or the protected person, or the sensitive document, as we have already seen, what is the scene role, what is the redaction decision, uh, whether it's only for review only or whether it's for redaction. So we have like lot many detailed, you can just craft it so that, so you can craft it in a very nice, so that the response you get is actually very helpful to you. Crafting the whole of the format provides the response which is very much closer as per the expectation. Now we'll look at the Pegasus 1.5, where it has been used to identify the phase which needs to be redacted, and particularly using into the redaction pipeline itself. So here you can see the phase redaction target in the 12labs service.py. It has been defined, and also about the structure as name, description, should anonymize, yes or no, and in Boolean. As you have seen, it was when we clicked on anon only, there was only one phase because it was like should anonymize, yes, is official, whether the person is the government official or not, whether the review is required or not, what are the redaction reason around it, around the scene segment. So all of this has been defined here. And here, if we just have a look here, the time-based metadata, the pipeline metadata response format has been provided with the temperature 0.1, so that we get the very precise response around it. So as soon as it provides the response about all of this, about the phase, about the keyframes around that, then the frame is being extracted, the phase is being extracted through that. There might be a condition where one person appears on the multiple of the frames. That's why the inside phase and the clustering has been used, which you can explore in the detection in the clustering.py of how the inside phase has been used further down the line to get the unique phase list. And further then, to have the motion tracking or the phase lock, the YOLO V8 phase target is one of the thing, and the phase lock track for the motion tracking, for the velocity prediction around it, is been implied for the GDPR. Now we're gonna have a look at the analyze that we saw, like to understand about the summary about the video, to understand about the particular like more details about what was the um, whole of the courtroom about, or the case about, or which are the various timestamp I can jump to get to know about more specific stuff. So that can be done with the help of Pegasus 1.2, and which is there we can access via client.analyze. So here is the video ID, here is the prompt. So enhanced prompt is a part where there is a template, and then you can just have the custom query that we have together with that. You can just directly have the text query here, but enhanced prompt just is to make it more better, or as per your platform it would respond in that way. The temperature I have kept is 0. Here you can see the format your response in a clear markdown, use bold and the timestamp. So it's just a very basic of the guideline which needs to be followed on for the formatting purpose, so that it behaves in a very similar manner in every way. So this is one of the part. And at the last, the thing which we have looked on to at very first was the search. So the search could be done by an entity, via text, or via an email. So here you can have a look at the search segment where the client has been defined, the index ID is there, and here are all the parameters for it. If there is a query text, then query text has been there. If image, or the image path, or all of the parameter, and as per that it calls for it, and we get the whole of the search segments. And also the timeline is just the rank which has been modified in the UI in the way that we get to know about the critical areas to look on to that particular entity or the particular scenario in a very better. Yeah, that's all from my side. You can have a look at it, you can explore a lot. There are not many areas to deep dive into and build a various kind of an application around, where you need a response as per analyzing the video in a way that it is very close to your expectations. So you can just craft a method of format, a structured format, in a way that you get the time-based metadata truly with the help of 12labs Pegasus 1.5. And so that in your application you are having a video intelligence layer into it, and get the whole of the process to be done in very quickly. So here we saw about like 12labs video search, about the video analysis, about the entity and management. So yeah, that's all from my side. And just go to the repo, do explore about it, and do build around the core use cases about like going through a GDPR or privacy compliances, or maybe using a security footage handling and having the compliances there, or maybe finding an evidence particularly from the video which needs to be legally reviewed around it.